Welcome to Sourdough 101. This is my starter and it lives in the fridge full time. As you can see, I haven't used the starter in a while, so it has a bit of that extra liquid film on top. Nothing to worry about though. We'll stir it up and we'll get started. So for day 1, you will just need a clean jar, and we're going to pour some of this non-active starter into the jar. You'll need about an inch of starter. Next, we're going to add flour. So you could measure this out if you would like, but I kind of just eyeball equal parts of starter and equal parts of flour. As you can see here, it's about the same amount of flour as there is starter in the jar, and same with the water that we added here. Now we're going to give that a mix. And you're going to want your starter to have this kind of thick pancake batter consistency. Now you can clean up your jar and draw a line so you know how much your starter has grown in the day. And that's it. Day 1 is complete. Good work. Day 2. Now we're going to discard some of that starter back into our old fridge jar. The reason we do this is because I personally don't need a big amount of starter for my baking, and feeding a large amount of starter is going to take up a lot of your flour and a lot of your water, and it's going to be kind of a lot to manage. So this is the way that I feed my starter to get it ready for baking. So day 2, again, equal parts, mix, draw a line, and day 2 is complete. Day 3 is exactly the same as day 2. I wanted to make this video because I get a lot of questions about how do I feed my starter, how do I get it ready to bake, and I feel like there's a lot of information on the internet, and I feel like a lot of it's really confusing. A lot of people are saying, oh, don't use this certain type of flour. This is just all-purpose flour from Walmart. A lot of people say use, distilled water. This is water straight from my tap. So it doesn't have to be hard or complicated. You don't need to measure. You don't need any of these fancy tools. Just any old jar will do. As you can see here, this starter was a bit thicker than I wanted, so I added a little bit more water and stirred it up again. Drew my line, and day 3 is complete. Now on day 4 in the morning, you're going to want to feed your starter. So I fed mine around 8 a.m. I'm discarding the excess, adding in the flour and the water here, and leaving that to feed. And then this is what it looks like at about 2 p.m. It didn't fully double, but I know that it's active enough to start baking. So I portion out my starter, and then the rest will go back into the old fridge jar. And now we can begin to put our loaf together. So you will need 350 grams of warm water, just tap water will do, your 50 grams of your active starter, whisk that together, and then add your 10 grams of salt and your 500 grams of all-purpose white bread flour. You're going to let that sit for half an hour, and then you will perform your first set of stretch and folds. You will let your dough rest for half an hour between each set of stretch and folds, and you will do 3 in total. So this is your third and final stretch and fold. Once this is complete, let it bulk ferment on the counter overnight. Day 5. Dust your countertop with flour, and we will begin to shape our dough. So you're going to fold all your sides together, kind of roll it up, and then flip it over so that the smooth side is facing up. Now you're going to do some drag and pulls to get a nice round loaf shape. Place this on your parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Place this in your bowl and let rest for 30 minutes while you preheat your oven to 450 with your Dutch oven inside. Dust with rice flour and score whatever design you'd like. Be creative with your scoring. It's a great way to show your artistic talent in sourdough. Now you will place into your hot Dutch oven with the lid on and bake for 25 minutes. Remove the lid and bake for another 20 minutes. And there you have it, your very own sourdough loaf in 5 days. Please let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Thank you for being here.